Hey friends, welcome to Introverts Unmuted. I am your host, Amber Hansel, and we talk about all things building up your confidence as introverts, lead generation and engagement in this online space that feels authentic to you. So, whether you are a small business owner, a creator, or someone just looking to keep up with the social world, today's episode is all about finding harmony in that. So, we're going to be diving into 5 practical ways to structure your week for social media success without burning out. Because let's face it, social media can feel like a full time job if you let it, but it doesn't have to. With the right structure and a little bit of planning, you can stay consistent and connect with your audience and still have time for yourself. So, let's get started. First up, let's talk about starting with purpose. Not just a checklist, not just a to-do list, a real soul-centered intention for the week. When we move through life without clarity, we end up reactive, chasing trends, second guessing every post, and feeling overwhelmed. But when we begin our week with purpose, we take back control. One of the biggest contributors to burnout is going into your week without clear direction. You end up spending way too much time figuring out what to post or scrambling to create content last minute. And that's where planning comes in. Here's what I recommend. Set aside 30 minutes to an hour at the start of your week or at the end of last week to map out your social media schedule. Write it down, use a scheduling tool to make things easier. But when you have a plan, you feel so much more in control and you'll avoid that dreaded, what should I post today panic. And you don't have to overcomplicate it. So you're going to answer some of these questions. What's my goal this week? Am I promoting something, building engagement, sharing value? What type of content supports that goal? A reel, carousel, stories. When am I posting? Also, what do I want my audience to feel this week? Am I guiding them towards something meaningful? And what stories, lessons, or insights can I share that will truly make a difference? The second is that we need to batch with intention, not just efficiency. You know that feeling when you're in the zone, creativity is pouring out of you? That's what batching is all about. It's not just a productivity hack, it's about harnessing your creative flow so you can show up when you have low energy days and you're not stressed about what you're going to post. Or, your kid hasn't slept all night and you're running on coffee and your brain's not working. So here's how I do it. I choose a core message for the week or I'm promoting something that aligns with the bigger mission. I block out time to film, write captions, and design graphics. But that doesn't mean that it's all like in one go. I don't necessarily write captions, create graphics, and record all in one day. I separate it out into separate days so that I don't feel overwhelmed. I save everything in my drafts and schedule it using either in-app scheduling or you can use tools. So what I'd like to do is I write all my captions in one day. Then another day, I'm going to go record reels, podcasts, and create graphics. And I don't necessarily schedule them or post in live time. So when you focus, your content is going to hold more power. You're not constantly scrambled. You can show up with energy for those conversations because your content's already done. You've done that work. Now you get to show up for your people. Another idea is to create theme days. Theme days help you stay consistent and give your audience something to look forward to. And it also helps for creating call to actions. So what is the next step that you want that person to take from your content? So for example, if you're not promoting something big right now, workshop, masterclass, whatnot, or your primary offer that you're launching, maybe Mondays you share your free lead magnet. Wednesdays, you post a how-to tutorial related to your niche. And Friday, you share a behind-the-scenes moment. So having theme days doesn't mean you have to stick to them 100%, but it gives you framework. Plus, it takes the guesswork out of your content planning so that you know what you are promoting and the call to actions that you are going to use every time you go to post. It really helps when you're in those in between launching phases or you're booked out with clients and you're staying relevant. Setting boundaries is so important on social media because it's easy to get sucked into scrolling, checking notifications, responding to messages all day. And it's exhausting and you burn out really, really fast. So when you decide to be intentional and understand your energy, this will help with your time on social media and it's going to help with your boundaries. Here are some boundaries to consider. Set specific times to check your social media. Maybe once in the morning, once in the evening. Which platforms are you going to be on certain times of the day? One of these times you can be replying to comments, leaving comments. Another time you're responding to messages. This is also going to help on those lower energy days as you're spreading out your spoons, essentially. And you can turn off notifications so you're not constantly distracted. We do not need to be reliant on it. This is not an emergency when you get a message. Give yourself social free hours, like during dinner, before bed, first thing in the morning. You don't have to be online 24/7 to be effective. Consistency is important, but so is your mental health. And remember that your worth is not measured by how often you post. You are allowed to unplug, to breathe, and to exist outside of this digital world. And it doesn't matter if people know or not know. Last but not least, measure what matters. Social media success isn't just about likes and followers. It's about engagement, connections, and progress toward your goals. So at the end of each week, take 10 minutes to reflect. What worked well? Did a certain post get a lot of saves or comments or start conversations? That's going to help with your content planning for next time. You can repurpose those. So what didn't work? Maybe a type of content fell flat. That's okay. These are learning. Also, we are not dependent on the algorithm. It is about our feeling and how we are connecting with our audience. And also, what can you improve for next week? So when you are sitting down to reflect, what felt good? By focusing on the metrics that actually matter to you, you're going to feel more accomplished and less stressed about the vanity metrics. So ask yourself not just what worked, but what felt good? What brought you joy? What made you feel connected to your audience? Because that is what truly matters. So there you have it. 5 ways to build a social media strategy that supports you instead of draining you. So let's recap. You're going to start with a purpose, not just a plan. You're going to batch your content with intention. Create theme days that align with your energy. Set boundaries that protect your peace and measure what truly matters. We need to remember social media is a tool, one that should empower you, not exhaust you. You get to decide how to use it. You get to decide how you show up. So take a breath. Trust yourself and build a strategy that feels like freedom, not obligation. And if you're thinking, I have no idea where to start on building a strategy that aligns with me, send me an email, find me on Instagram, and let's chat about which of my offers is going to bring you harmony and peace with your social media strategy. And if this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Until then, take care, protect your energy, and keep creating from the heart. You've got this.